Let's take a look at 6 different alternate builds that I made using only the pieces from 6 different Lego sets. And these are all mini sets, you guys. These are all my creations. And what we'll do is we'll go through the sets one by one. I'll take a little tour, or we'll take a little tour of the alternate builds, and then I'll also reveal what the original set is. So feel free to guess along as we go. All right, so just to get started, here is our first alternate build. It's actually 3 different assemblies. So we have an Imperial research station over here that's comprised of these 2 sections. They're each placed on this circular base. That may be a little bit of a hint to the original set for you, but we basically have kind of a sensor array and then a little radar dish. So just this is kind of scanning equipment that you could find among an Imperial base and that type of thing. I thought it was fun to actually use that little Technic piece here. First I was like, I don't know if I want there to be, you know, that blue color, but then it looks relatively decent with that little plate piece added to the top. I probably wouldn't have added that without the little plate piece. All right, and so that is the first part of the build, and okay, I'm excited about this second part, you guys. So yes, there's you can make a Star Destroyer out of a lot of different sets for sure, but I really like how this one turned out. It's a pretty small scale Star Destroyer, even as far as the mini building sets go. There's some of the very early mini building sets that were more kind of this scale. It's very compact, very to the point. We have these finishing pieces in the front. Those are the little ingot pieces. We've got the little binoculars up top. We've got a little thickness, so we have the same pieces layered here twice to create that thickness. And then in the back, there's this little pop of color from the transparent light blue plate. So this one was the Imperial Research Station along with the Imperial Star Destroyer. And our original set, you may have guessed, is the Millennium Falcon, the mini version, and that's set 30708. So you can see these circles are maybe a little bit of a hint to the original set. All right. So next up, we have 2 assemblies this time as well. So on the right is an Outpost, okay? Yes, it's very basic, and if I'm being honest, this is sort of the manifestation of the leftover pieces at the end, but you know what? What's nice about having this Outpost is it gives you somewhere for the little ship to visit. And this is a Starship, or Sith Starship rather. We have this tail section that does actually move down, so it's on the little hinge pieces. So you can kind of adjust that to your liking. There's also these wing pieces here. Well, these are flags forming the wings of the ship. And then we just have a lot of these smooth pieces up front, including those smooth slope pieces and the tiles. And if you take off the tail, actually, you can see this looks a little like the original. This, this alternate build, with the tail removed, could be considered an alternate Sith Infiltrator. I do like it with the tail too, so that's up to you. And our original set was, you guessed it, Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator. Okay. And next up, all right, this one's fun. Let me just make a little fix here. There we go. Okay, so this alternate build, you guys, this is kind of a crossover, mashup type of thing. This is Batman Star Wars Landspeeder, so I'll give you a little hint at the original set, or actually a pretty big hint. It's this stealthy black speeder. We have a sort of stealthy dark windscreen in the front. A lot of neat little finishing type pieces where they're just, you know, smooth. They don't have any of the Lego studs on them. There's a spot for a minifigure to sit if you do have a Batman or somebody else. We've got these fins as kind of accents in the kind of upper section in the rear of the rear of the speeder. Everything does kind of come to a little triangular point at the front too. All right, and so those pretty big hints for this to be Batman's speeder. So the original set is actually the Batmobile. Surprising, right? Okay, now we're heading to the back row. Okay, so here in our back row, we have, this is another speeder. This is a stealth speeder. So it's stealthy, it's almost entirely black. There's a little bit of gray there, but it's mostly black. And then we do have the also stealthy kind of transparent red accents, especially with the windscreens in the front. We have these little, so these pieces are little walkie-talkie pieces. So that's kind of one of the fun accent pieces of this original set. So we've got a lot of blasters going on. We have 2 blasters on the side and then also 2 in the front. Very stealthy look overall. Okay, and our original set here is Kylo Ren's TIE silencer. Okay, next up, we're getting Imperial again. So here is another Star Destroyer. You can see, just for reference, the size difference there. This is a larger, more detailed Star Destroyer. We've got a little tower in the middle and some dark bluish gray accents. A lot of the detailing of this build is in the tail section here. That's where a lot of our finishing tiles are and such. And there's the dual engines in the back. Okay, and then let's get our original So here's our original, the Imperial Light Cruiser. Okay, and then last but not least, okay. Okay, this one, you guys, is a Trade Federation hovercraft. So I imagine this as being the type of vehicle the Trade Federation would maybe use in a swamp somewhere. We have dual blasters and then a fearsome blaster cannon up top. And we've got a little bit of the probe, or not a probe droid, a pit droid. This section here is a little reminiscent of a pit droid, which is also from Star Wars Episode 1. Oh, I'm giving hints on what it is, although, you know, with the pieces, I think you guys probably already know. Okay, so the original build for this is the AAT. So Trade Federation AAT, as seen in Star Wars Episode 1. All right, well, so that's all of our builds for today, you guys. So we've got 6, and these are always fun to make. As always, you know, feel free to like or comment on the video and keep building yourself, right? These alternate builds are so much fun to make, so I encourage you to make them at home as well. All right, we'll see you next time.